Hi, I'm John Ferris with Dead, Buried, and Back. This morning at the W Hotel in Atlanta, I'm with the cast and crew of The Mansion. Welcome, guys. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and join us at Dead, Buried, and Back. All right, lots of questions coming your way, so let me just start off with some introductions. I have Amy, I have Carter, we have Sebastian, we have Chris, Lily, and Andrew. And again, welcome, guys. I appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you.
So the premiere was last night.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
Oh, it was fabulous.
Great.
It was really great.
Was it?
It was a blast. It was the first time for Chris seeing the film.
Yeah.
And the three of us saw an early cut, but this was completely different. It was really amazing.
It was great. And to see it in a full packed theatre as well and getting everyone's reactions and hearing the audience going with it, it was a wonderful experience.
Now, when was the film completed?
It was completed, we finished shooting it in November 2011, and then I would say the editing just kind of finished last week.
Wow.
Yesterday.
So it's been an ongoing project for the last 2 years then.
Yeah, I mean, it's a process because you have to go through so many different iterations, and like Amy said, they had seen it before. You kind of have to show it around and refine it and see what works and what doesn't. So yeah, it's been a while.
Now, Andrew, you're the director of the film and stuff. What else have you done before this genre? Because the Mansion is a post-apocalyptic thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Have you dabbled in the post-apocalyptic genre before?
Not per se, but
lives in New York.
Yeah. No, I mean,
You live it.
this is our first big project. This is our first feature, so we haven't done anything like that. I mean, we've done tons of short films, and I've been making movies since I was a kid, so there was always like a horror element that was present in like a lot of what I was doing. But just specifically about post-apocalyptic, I think it's a fun genre. We think it's sort of like it's sort of taken over the Western category. It's like, it has sort of the same elements of the Western. It's like modern people in an uncivilized land and how they act and what happens in that sort of situation. So we had a blast.
Now, you and Lily wrote the story together.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
And your angle, you didn't want to go into all the gore and all that. You had a different concept in mind when you wrote the story.
Yeah, we wanted to tell, it was a story about a family, that was the core of the story. And it's like, it's not just the hero, what is he going to do, how is he going to save himself? It's like stakes were upped because there was a mother, there was a father, there was a little girl, and then there was, other people in the house. We kind of imagined that the Kyle character might have been a neighbor that came in, and then there was, Russell's character, who you weren't really quite sure if you could trust him or not. And, Jack is a good man. He's the head of the family, and he takes Russell in. And so, there's, it's all the dynamic of the family. Are they, what do you do to protect your little girl? They're not just going around it's very different. So it was really important for us to tell the story of the journey of a family, basically just very simple, going from point A to point B, and what, just upping the tension on what it took for them to do that.
Now, guys, overall, what were some of the highlights in making the film? What were some of your favorite scenes and stuff that you guys really enjoyed shooting?
Well, speaking of shooting,
Speaking of shooting,
it was a fun. I was thinking about it last night, the day. I mean, admittedly, I think we were filming a couple weeks in a house, and so there's like this family in post-apocalypse is in a house, and the fun of it is looking at that reality, the potential sort of boredom and malaise of just trying to survive in a house, and then when the action sort of kicks in, even for us, we'd been in the house doing that for a while, and suddenly it was like, oh, it's pretty fun to have someone flying through the door and whooping shotguns around. Admittedly, that energy was pretty fun, yeah.
How
And the
can we make
challenge
your
of
head
doing that.
explode?
Yeah.
And I think it's worth pointing out that these four lived together during the entire making of the film.
Oh, wow.
So they were very,
Oh, wow.
they were
Yeah, we
actually
went to
a
our own mansion.
They were actually a family during the
Yeah, that was one of the highlights for us.
I think that's
Personally.
probably the reason
Personally,
why it's actually the reason why we all came down. I mean, it was shot in Atlanta, so it seemed appropriate that we all came down. But I think that one of the things that drove me to is that I was hoping we would all see each other.
We all
Yeah.
get to hang out.
We had such a blast.
We
and
had
like-
So it wasn't about the movie. It was, I haven't seen you guys in forever. Let's come down to
Yeah.
hang
It was
out.
about
Carter owed me 50 cents, so I didn't get to see him
I owe
anyway.
everybody money. Yeah. Yeah, but it was true. I think that was definitely a highlight. Is we would because as the cast because it was a cast. I mean, the movie's about essentially
This
4 or 5
household,
people
yeah.
with Eva in the house. So it's like we'd spend the day in the house shooting, and then we'd get in the car and we'd go home and we'd eat dinner together and we'd spend the night in the house and get up and go back together. So we had all these weeks where it was was real, and I think that is like a highlight throughout to get that opportunity to have this chemistry and bond that's working all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the highlights for me as an actor was that Andrew and Lily, they were so open to the four of us playing, with the script and playing with the scenarios, and I mean, personally, I came into the film totally with an open mind. Like, I didn't have any expectations as far as like the relationship between characters, or that was all built. I mean, Lily and Andrew definitely. I mean, they had a really solid script and they gave us sort of an outline, but
You guys
it was
improv a
really
lot.
like what we
Yeah.
created in the moment based on, our own relationships, and that was so refreshing to work with people that were so like giving to actors as far as make it your own. Yeah. I mean, they were worried about how everything looked, the angles, but then, we were able to just sort of play. So that was like that was my favorite part of the like artistic experience. The drinking late at night, that was also fun. But yes,
The poker, the drinking.
the poker, the drinking, that was one of the highlights for sure.
I absolutely agree with Amy, because we really started to see their relationships develop. Like, they started kind of improvising, and it felt really raw and real. And she played, they all have these complexities, because Amy plays Nell, a mother to a little girl, and she's trying to hold it together. She's trying to hold the family together, but she has issues. She's self-medicating. She's stressed out. Jack has a very complex character, I think, and he is also trying to hold the family together and provide some sort of normalcy. He's trying to pretend in a way that it's okay, and and he starts to become sort of unhinged as the film progresses. And you have Russell's character, who he has a past. He has a dark past, and it's explored, and you don't really know if you can trust him. We don't know, like, who is this guy? He lives in the attic in their house. He's someone that Jack brought in, and so that adds a dynamic too with the little girl. And you have Kyle, and Kyle plays an artist, and you see these incredible murals that he created on the walls of death, of destruction, these huge paintings. And for us, it was like, it all adds depth in a way, because who's around to leave a mark? Like, it's like the cave drawings of somebody, like, it's like Kyle believes that somebody is going to see this. There needs to be a mark of what happened. And so you just see this incredible wall covered in images of, chaos, destruction, death. So it was like the subtle things, like you're right, we didn't want this like totally gory action. We wanted like the nuances and we wanted people to get to know this family. We wanted, to follow their journey and then lead up to the big ta-da at the end.
So it sounded like last night that you guys hit a home run with it from the crowds and everybody that turned out. Now, we are missing the youngest
Yes.
actress.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
This. What was
Very
it?
happy.
What was it like working with that young lady?
Incredible.
Well, she's a real kid. She's not like a stage kid or a Hollywood kid.
Yeah.
This was her first movie, so it was like working with like I guess it was really like working with
With a
A real kid.
Like she was your own. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with a ton of kids, and and they show up on set and they, kind of know their lines, and then
They do their little
they do that little
attitude
thing, like the camera turns on and they're suddenly on. But with Eva, it's just like seamless. Like, she just is. It's perfect for film. I mean,
Yeah.
she's really like I don't know. Can you say raw talent?
I think you can. Yeah.
No,
I think you
Well,
can.
the thing is about Emma is that she's my niece, and so we knew, this is low budget indie filmmaking, so we needed access to a kid without respect for
We're
child
not
labor
related.
laws.
Yeah.
By the way, for the
So-
yes.
so-
We have no
yeah, I'm trying to get
relation.
the connections here
No,
slowly.
we're all, we're all high.
I'm Andrew's father, actually.
It's yeah.
Well, this is getting confusing after all.
No, he's not really. Plus,
Pretty
the
old.
resemblance with Amy and Emma is pretty. I mean, they really looked great together.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a great dynamic, and just as soon as we saw Amy, we were like, oh my God, she's Nell. It was just very, very easy. Casting this movie was a breeze because we didn't. The second we saw all four of them, it was like done. You know, we knew who we envisioned the characters to be. It was in our heads, but you know, we were like, how are we going to find these people? And then like, it just was incredible.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Now I know there had to have been some challenges, Andrew. I mean, when the film was made, what was your shooting schedule?
About 3 weeks. It was a pretty tight turnaround.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Is that
It was
that short?
19 days of
Is that
shooting.
short? 20
19
days?
days.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
it would be like it was like 6 days shooting, 1 day off, and then 5 days shooting, and then 2 days off. I don't know. Our first AD was just phenomenal. I'm so
That
sorry.
was amazing. I mean, he kept this
he
thing.
planned it all.
Some
He
days,
did a
one
great
day
job.
there was 25 shot.
Yeah,
He had this incredible
He was-
day,
yeah.
and this guy, without making you feel like you were in the military,
Yeah.
he kept this thing running, everything, and it really actually.
Yeah, he was amazing.
He was
It
incredible.
really is fascinating because the days really didn't go long and they
No.
weren't really early.
We
It
go over
wasn't this
12 hours
crazy.
most days.
Oh, wow.
We
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
comment on the
fascinating.
very
Yeah.
professional crew. Our director
Well, we had a kid
photographer-
who's in almost everything. We can't. you
No,
know.
no.
That's true.
Yeah, we really
Our
can't.
director
So the,
of
the
photography
turnaround
kept
was
it really, really
nuts,
tight too.
but everyone was game to get it done, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Now, a little history for you guys, real quick. Who's from Georgia here?
Sort of.
I have two from Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and y'all are
I
from.
have grandparents from Georgia,
Yeah,
from
your
Rome, Georgia.
Rome.
But
I didn't even know that.
But y'all from New York and LA and.
Yeah.
New York based.
We're all New York based. I mean,
Yeah.
he's from Montana. I'm from California. Sebastian's from England.
I'm from the other
Okay.
side of the Atlantic.
Chris is
There you
from
go.
where are you
Yes,
from?
Originally Boston.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but we're New York based.
And all of these guys live in New York except
All right, maybe
But
not. How about me?
Loved Atlanta.
Oh, that was my next question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Denver and back, we're based out of Atlanta, obviously.
Yeah.
There's and the movie industry here is blossomed. I think
Yeah.
I think the explosion of what's going on here has caught a lot of people by surprise in Atlanta in the film industry, which I think is just fantastic. And they're building Pinewood Studios now in
Yeah.
South Georgia, and it's just
Yeah.
we're very quickly becoming the new Hollywood with films and stuff. So most of y'all, obviously, when you leave Atlanta, you've got other projects now in the works too, as
Yeah.
well. Do you want to talk about it real brief?
Nice to actually have a job to go to for a change, rather than being back into unemployed and auditioning. I'm off to do another movie in next week, actually, with Eva, the little girl who unfortunately isn't here. She's shooting at the moment up in New York. We're doing an indie film together, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool.
She was discovered from his reel.
Yeah,
Well, it's not real. I mean, it's an indie, but
yeah.
it's a pretty big movie.
It's a decent
Stars
budget movie.
Diane Lane and Elizabeth Banks
Oh, wow.
and
It's
Dakota
produced by
Fanning.
Frances
So
McDormand.
This
So
is
it's some big names.
indie is stretching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. The Umbrella Man is a movie I did this fall that'll be coming out next year. That should be
Oh, wow.
pretty good as well. So
Cool. Well, that's exciting that y'all have hit one big hit here and you're moving on.
Yeah.
We all plan to work together again.
yeah,
That's awesome.
And
We kinda
I
found
ideally,
our-
the only problem with Georgia is if you're shooting a movie post-apocalypse where you're supposed to be skinny, but then you live in Roswell, and so you go home every night. And
They
you
were
go out to
eating pies
dinner.
every
So
night.
we're like, we're
Oh,
supposed to be
gosh.
this famished family, and after 3 weeks, we're like, I think I'm putting on like
So
5
much
abs.
You
I
can take
came
this
home
off
from
in
this
post,
show
right?
that I was
We're eating
I
fried
got
chicken
chicken every night
after
myself, and it
this.
was
The food was
shocking.
so good, you're just like, yeah, I'll have
Shocking.
another fried green tomato. Why not?
Okay,
I'm down
okay.
here.
Now, I would be a good interview if I didn't ask this question. For you guys that have come into Atlanta and done the film and spent time here, what have you seen? What have you done in Atlanta that's going to leave lasting memories with you? Where have you
I have
eaten?
seen some of the biggest bugs I've ever seen.
That's true. We're in the
The
woods.
scene in the barn, there was a bug that came up. I thought he was part of the crew. He was that big, and it came up. I'm like, what? And I was like able to, but I flicked him off me, and he had like volume. It was like this. Oh my god! Like it was this weird thing. It was like a twig crawling up me. It was creepy.
Was it like a praying mantis sort of?
No, it was like a.
Like
I don't know. It was the
Indiana
weirdest,
Jones,
freaky
like-
thing, and
We don't know. We didn't hear about it.
I actually had a very
Oh.
scary moment during the shoot, which was on one of our days off. There was the tornado warnings.
Oh.
So
Right.
oh, that's
we
right.
didn't know. None of us
We were walking
no,
around.
walking around. Everyone else is scattered, and it was like
The sirens
installation
were
actually
going off.
happening.
They
This
had
weird
sirens
sound.
And the
in
sky was like
neighborhood
churning.
for,
We're
like-
like, wow, look at the clouds. and
We
there's
live in New York City. I mean, so that was like.
That's right.
That
I
was
remember
creepy.
That.
That was
I
really-
remember that.
Andrew, Lily, did you set this up? Because I'm really scared.
let's get a camera. shoot.
But these guys were amazing. Like this was a low budget movie, and it required, you know, a lot of belief in us to do it. And they all believed in this movie they were on board. They were like, let's do this. We're going to the woods. Let's do it. We're going here. Oh, we're going to shoot in this
Yeah, the
house and have
scenery, the
cover. I mean,
atmosphere.
they were 100% game, and like we literally, you know, we raised money from the ground up. We raised money from Kickstarter. We had people, you know, we just basically. It's not like we had all these
We
industry
begged and harassed
contacts, and we were.
everyone
Yeah.
to-
We
to
did
help
this
us.
from like, you know, it was very much grassroots filmmaking.
And can we just give a shout out?
No,
speaking
absolutely.
of
That's what I'm saying. No,
Atlanta,
go
to
ahead,
downtown
please.
Roswell.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
John Roswell.
So we spent a lot of time in Roswell,
We
and
did.
I have to say, when you talk about lasting impressions, like that town. I don't know if it's considered a suburb of Atlanta. I don't really
It's
know.
a little
Yes.
town. It's like
But
a historic.
We
Roswell.
fell in love with it.
Yeah.
The little shops. There were these amazing art galleries. The
Great
restaurants.
restaurant sitting
What
out
were
on
the-
the
The
sidewalk.
dentist.
Oh, there was a great dentist who had to fix our teeth.
Dr.
Carter and I
Dick.
both chipped a tooth on the same day.
Yeah, broken half.
The pie
yeah.
shop.
Which makes it sound
The
like
pies.
something
Oh,
really
the
bad.
pie
shop.
But no, we
Pies.
chipped a
We
tooth
were looked
on, like,
after so
something.
well.
They were
We
bringing
were,
pies to set from
It was
Roswell.
amazing. Like
pie shop,
Roswell. Big shout out to
Yes,
Roswell.
that's
We were
great.
you
Thank you.
really impressed a bunch of jaded New Yorkers. We
Very
were-
much.
Georgia is a wonderful
loved
place
it.
to make movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People could
it's
not have
amazing.
been made. We worked with Toby Sells, who made incredible bodies. We worked with Bob Shelley, who is a legend. They came out 3 days, and they did all our squibs and our gunshots, and they were
That was
awesome. I mean, it felt like really working with an absolute
And the
legend.
crew was all,
The crew was
Atlanta.
amazing.
Yeah.
The crew was all Atlanta based. We had this guy Sam Green help us. You basically riled our whole, helped us rile our whole crew. Our second AD was awesome. Our first AD Andrew was awesome, and our DP really need to give a shout out to Sung Ray Cho.
Yeah.
He really helped us keep it. Even though it was low budget, I don't think you would ever see that or feel that because he shot it so beautifully. He's worked on some amazing movies, and we're really grateful to have him.
Guys, I hate to wrap this up because I really enjoy spending time with you, and it's just been wonderful that I've had this opportunity. And I thank you guys for being here, taking time out of your busy schedules, and I know you got to hit some flights back to New York.
Thank you.
But thank you.
Thank
I
you.
really,
thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys.
Such a pleasure.
No, spending time with Dead, Buried, and Back, and next time you guys come into town, let's get together and
Love
I'll
it.
show you a little more
Absolutely.
around
Love it.
Atlanta and stuff. And
That'd be great.
guys, thanks. And I look forward to seeing the premiere tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm finally going to catch it.
There's
Yeah.
you can be on
Awesome.
set.
Let us know what you
Atlanta.
think.
The
We
audience.
hope
I
to
will.
be back filming something else here for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do we.
All right. Well, I
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
it, guys.
John.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Take it easy.
Take care.